Looks like it's live. I'm going to assume it's live. I'm just going to post the links a couple places. We're going to be doing unboxing the Edge of the Earth campaign. I just got quite a bit of feedback when I posted the box to Facebook that they wanted to see it, and I'm going to post it to the subreddit as well, really quickly. And if people want to pile in, they can. I'm probably just going to get started right away. A couple more links. Alright, that's good enough. Hey everybody, I don't expect anyone will be here right away, but this is real. I'm super excited. I'm so excited. I was able to set up a camera that actually can show things at a relatively good quality. Hopefully it's not like dropping tons of frames or anything. I didn't actually test the stream before I got started. But I'm hoping it works okay, at least. So yeah, Edge of the Earth campaign box. Incredibly excited. If this doesn't look substantial to you, I mean, these are the full-size playmats from FFG, so it's pretty big. I've got a couple of things to reference. This is the old core set, right? It's a little bit taller. That's top to bottom, and quite a bit thicker. It's definitely got this style of lift-off box, and we'll see that in a couple minutes. I've also got the Return to box right next to it here. You can see that it's like a little bit taller, the Return to box is. I can kind of stick my finger in a notch there. So that might agitate some people depending on how they store it. And if you're the kind of person that also plays Marvel Champions, they're literally the same size box. So that's kind of the ins and outs of the box construction. It's certainly substantial. I'm pretty happy to see it looking like this, and I'll just cut the plastic wrap off really quickly. Let's take a look. Come on, big guy. There we go. Gotta love that feeling, right? Boom. Edge of the Earth campaign expansion on the way. Nice, solid, spiral bound campaign log. Crazy. An ad for Unfathomable. I'm sorry, I have no friends. I won't be buying that. Sorry, MJ. And then an ad for a couple of books. Great. Good stuff. Pretty extensive. Holy moly. 64 pages. 64 pages. Lots of encounter sets. Look at how many encounter sets that is. Insane. Yeah. Looks good. Pretty big campaign log. Complete with all the people that you're with. A lot of stuff going on here. So that's pretty exciting too. Cardboard punch-outs. This is one of my favorite things about opening new games. And forgive me for doing this, but I'm going to take some time to punch these out as I'm speaking. Because there's something that's just to me viscerally satisfying about punching out tokens out of punch-outs. So I'm punching these out, and I'm going to be using them because I want to punch them out, and because I want to use them. That's pretty good. Nice up front. You get your 3 clue tokens, pretty good. Frost tokens, the sigils, and the back side, kind of the same deal, but Doom and obviously the lit up sigils. So that's pretty cool. That's fine. So I'm just going to pop these out real quick because I can't help myself. Oh, it's so satisfying. Oh, yeah. Rapid fire. No ASMR version of popping out the tokens, of course. But we'll just pop them out real quick. Cool. No tears. Professional game. They're always nice. And then the inserts, like, look at this. Look at this huge insert. 2 massive slots for it. This is probably going to be like a game changer for me for storing my player cards. Because, I don't know if you know me very well, but I have these old Netrunner boxes, and this is about 3/4 of the secret cards that I own. And this is all secret cards, and they're just in a box like this, and it's horrendous. And I have a little Ziploc baggie with all my investigators in the front. And it's awful, and I hate searching through cards like that, and I'm cheap, is the problem. So having something like this is really nice. I love the Return to boxes for that reason. Being able to store a campaign in this is a lot better than being able to store a campaign in this. Like an astronomical amount. So, yeah, pretty happy about that. That's pretty much everything for the unboxing. I mean, you know, I don't know how much you want to get into spoilers and stuff, but they're all individually wrapped here. I wonder to what order they are. I don't know if there's a specific order that they're wrapped in, or if there's any rhyme or reason for the way that they're ordered in here. I believe Ice and Death is the first scenario. I'll just take a quick look to be certain of that. Where's it going to tell me that? It's going to tell me that at the end, I guess. Yeah, Ice and Death. So yeah, we're going to get into some spoiler stuff, so if you're not super interested in spoiling stuff, I guess this is the time for you to dip out a little bit. But the scenarios have Ice and Death Part 1, 2, and 3, To the Forbidden Peaks, The City of the Other Things, The Heart of Madness Part 1 and 2, and then 3 check marks next to one called Fatal Mirage, which doesn't appear to be necessarily in this timeline. So that's pretty interesting. You've got your normal stuff here. You've got your Fatal Mirage, Memories Discovered and Banished, Ice and Death, Locations Revealed and Supplies Recovered, The Heart of Madness, Seals Placed and Seals Recovered. And you've got your Expedition team, who all have a Damage and Horror tracker. You've got Kensler, who I presume is the leader of the expedition, Dyer and Danforth, the two guys that went in the original story, and then a whole cast of presumably FFG original characters. So, it's pretty cool. Like I said, like, holy moly, look at this. Look at this list. I know it's got some things. Obviously, it's got your Ancient Evils, your where is it, Locked Door there, Striking Fear. But looking at this, is that everything that's used? Are those the only ones from the original that are used? Chilling Cold. Yep. That's the only stuff I see here that pops out to me is obviously being reused from the core set. So, if you are looking for a really fresh experience, you're going to get it here, by the sounds of things. And there's also even a quick reference, because of the book being bound and everything, they've got a quick reference for all the rules inserts here. Anytime there's a rule that you need to know, you know, checkpoints are explained on 2, frost tokens are explained on 2, the ancient facility locations are explained on 51. So, that's really good to have, I think, rather than flipping through this all the time. So I'm going to call that there for the unboxing. That was a nice little bit of unboxing. Thanks for watching that. I appreciate it. I'm going to be opening up a couple of the packs, and I'm going to give the first scenario a good try. I think that's going to be what I'm doing. So I might just continue this recording. I was gonna like start and stop it, but I don't think there's a whole lot of point in that. Let's pull these guys out of here. Get our frost tokens set off to the side. Get our seals set off to the side, and then I'll just dump the Clues and Doom in my Clues and Doom holder. There we go. Thank you. Stick that off to the side. Pop a couple of these guys over. Pretty exciting. So, like I said, Ice and Death is the first scenario. So what I'm probably going to do, get this guy out for myself to read. Pop open Ice and Death here. Looks like Heart of Madness is next. Let me see if I can figure out how these are arranged. Where's my order here? Ice and Death, Heart of Madness, Fatal Mirage, To the Forbidden Peaks, City of the Other Things, and then all of the generic stuff. Okay, so like this, and then like this, and then like this, and then like this, right? So, let's open, I guess, Ice and Death first, and then we'll probably have to open this one next, because it'll have all of our generic stuff. Locations, right? Yep, acts, agendas, story stuff. Bunch of people, acts, agendas, bunch of stuff. Okay. So there's kind of, I guess, the basis for your first scenario. Is that all the same? That's not all the same encounter set, just for your reference, I guess. The first one is this kind of, oh, where's my sweet spot of zoom? Oh no, I don't have a sweet spot of zoom. Yeah, so I'm using my cell phone, and I think it's just focused down here right now, and I don't know how clear that is for you guys. I can't tell from here, but anyways, there's an encounter set for, I guess, up to, let's see, up to here. And then you've got a couple of different encounter sets for a couple of different acts, presumably for the different parts, right? So, let's take a look at the start of the campaign guide. Russian roulette for if I hear spoilers. Oh man, you're gonna hear spoilers because I'm gonna be playing the first scenario in a bit. Uh-oh, did my stream end at some point? Oh, I see. I accidentally clicked record, I think. I want to double check. Yeah, I gotta unclick record. Because it started recording while I was streaming, and I didn't mean for it to do that. There, okay. Hopefully, if there was some shakiness there, that might have been because I was recording while streaming. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so, Edge of the Earth campaign guide. I'm going to pull this a little closer to myself because I got a little bit of glare from my light up that way. Madness spreads under the ice, that seething half-luminous cloud background held ineffable suggestions of a vague, ethereal beyondness far more than terrestrially spatial, and gave appalling reminders of the utter remoteness, separateness, desolation, and aeon-long death of this untrodden and unfathomed austral world. H.P. Lovecraft at the Mountains of Madness. Cool. So there's our intro quote to get us in the mood. We got some additional rules and clarifications for checkpoints. Some of the scenarios in the Edge of the Earth campaign are split into multiple parts. Players may choose to play these parts one at a time, with breaks between each part, or they may play multiple parts, one after another, as part of a longer session. Each part is its own game with its own setup and resolution. After completing one part of a scenario, the campaign guide directs the investigators to a checkpoint that instructs them how to proceed. If the investigators wish to proceed directly to the next part of the scenario, the checkpoint will instruct them how to clean up the game to prepare for the next part of the scenario. If the investigators wish to take a break and resume playing during their next game session, the checkpoint will instruct them to record information in the campaign log that makes setup for the next session quick and easy. Cool. All right, that's interesting. I also saw a clarification from MJ in the spoiler chat in the Mythos Buster Discord that specifically when you're finished a scenario, like all scenarios, you spend XP. You don't have to, if you're on part 1 and you're going to part 2 and you've hit a checkpoint, you're between scenarios and you spend XP then. So that's good to know. Frost tokens, I think this got spoiled a little while ago if you're the kind of person that's keeping your thumb on the pulse of that kind of stuff. This expansion introduces the new type of chaos token, the Frost token. Ooh. Right. At the start of the Edge of the Earth campaign, the Chaos Bag contains only a few relatively harmless Frost tokens, if any. As the expedition continues, depending on the decisions the investigators make and the events that unfold, more Frost tokens may be added to or removed from the Chaos Bag, altering the difficulty of every test the investigators perform. The more Frost tokens added to the Chaos Bag, the more crippling their effects become. The first Frost token revealed from the Chaos Bag during a skill test has the following effect. -1, reveal another token. If another Frost token is revealed from the Chaos Bag during the same test, immediately end the revealed Chaos token step of the skill test and resolve the test as an automatic failure. Return all revealed Frost tokens to the Chaos Bag after the test ends. Brutal. No more than 8 total Frost tokens can be included in the Chaos Bag and or sealed on cards in play at any given time. Okay, that's a bit of a hint that we might need to seal them at some point. A Frost token revealed outside of a skill test has no effect on its own, unless otherwise specified by card effect, and a Frost token added to the Chaos Bag remains in the Chaos Bag from the scenario to scenario unless removed by card or game effect. Use the Chaos Bag section of the campaign log to record which tokens are currently in the Chaos Bag. Teke Lili. This campaign includes an encounter set of 16 weaknesses, each with the title Teke Li. These cards are shuffled together to form a special Teke Li deck during the setup of each scenario to this campaign. Like normal weaknesses, if one of these cards is added to an investigator's deck, it becomes part of that deck and stays with that investigator from scenario to scenario. However, the resolution of each Teke Li weakness instructs the investigator to return it to the Teke Li deck, removing it from their own deck. As a result, the number of cards in the Teke Li deck varies based on how many of those weaknesses are in each investigator's deck. Note, while all Teke Li cards share the same title, they may have differing effects. So that's interesting. Hey, Mr. Wolf. Thanks for tuning in. Can't wait for it comes to the EU. Yeah, I hear that. I've been, I'm very happy that I've got this, and I feel a little bad for the people that don't have it yet. And I figured I'd do, like a little bit of something just to kind of get some hype going. And for the people that want to see it, right? Obviously, I'm sure there's a lot of people that much prefer to play this game blind. Personally, blind play is actually like an unfavorable thing for me, but I like knowing what I'm doing and what I'm getting into a lot more. So this will be fun to do blind because I've looked at a little bit of the campaign guide that got leaked online, but I really did not look at the actual playing of the scenario at all. There's a new keyword, Partner. Partner is a keyword ability that appears on the 9 story assets in the Expedition Team Encounter set. Each of these assets represents a powerful ally whom investigators can bring along during scenarios in this campaign to improve their chances of success. However, bringing an asset with the Partner keyword endangers that asset, with the risk of losing them permanently. At the start of each scenario in this campaign, each investigator is given the option to choose a Partner asset and put it into play. Partner assets cannot be added to an investigator's deck. An investigator may choose a different partner or no partner to bring each time they're given this choice. A partner asset cannot leave play unless it is defeated. For example, it cannot be discarded by card effects unless it is explicitly defeated. If an investigator is defeated, any partner asset they have with them is also defeated. If a partner asset is defeated, remove it from the game, then cross off that character's name in the Expedition Team section of the campaign log. Damage or horror on a partner asset is recorded in the Expedition Team section of the campaign log at the end of each game. Ooh, okay. So, at the end of each game, you have to record how much damage they have on them and how much horror. If an investigator resigns from a scenario, their partner asset leaves play, but it is not defeated. Keep all damage and horror on it, as it will be recorded in the campaign log after the game ends. And then we've got a rules reminder on alert, because everyone knows what alert does. The expansion icon down in the corner is going to be that. Choose investigators. So that's the spot I'm at. And I did not spend a lot of time preparing, so I am bringing 2 decks that I kind of just already had put together. I'm bringing a Stella deck. I like Stella a lot, and I just happen to have a deck lying around from a failed campaign that I played with her partner, and I'll show you in a minute. Her deck's pretty basic, I think. I've got a Mariner's Compass, 2 Meat Cleavers, 2 old keyrings, 2 Rabbit's Foot. That's my assets, non-ally assets, kind of hand and accessory. Relatively even cluing and fighting between the hands. The Rabbit's Foots are just great. And I like the one of Mariner's Compass. It's a good way to kind of pick up a couple clues and get some acceleration. Quite like that. I've got 2 Madame Lebranches and a Mysterious Raven. I just love Madame Lebranche, especially with the Mariner's Compass. And Raven's a cute way to pick up some clues, and she's got such a huge pool that it's really easy to use. A single Dark Horse for the incidental dropping to 0. I don't actually sit around at 0 in this deck because I've only got a Singleton and 2 Track Shoes. And that's all the assets. 2 Look What I Found, an Emergency Cache, 1 Fight or Flight, 2 Live and Learn, Trial by Fire, Scrounge for Supplies, 2 Waylay. It's the events. An even mix of cluing and some combat management, and then just your Fight or Flight, your Waylay, and your Trial by Fire, all helping a lot with combat. And then the 1 Emergency Cache for some money. For skills, 2 Take Hearts, 2 Resourcefuls, 3 Neither Rain Nor Snow, 2 Manual Dexterity, and her basic weakness is a Hypochondria. So that's a pretty standard, that's kind of my go-to Stella deck at level 0. I considered changing it a bit with the new cards, but I didn't land on anything I was super happy with, so that's the first Investigator we'll be picking. The second Investigator is going to be Amanda Sharp. Amanda, I've not had a lot of success with. I've played around with her a bit. I kind of get the idea of how you play her, but she's still a bit tricky for me. So this might go really well, or it might go really poorly, and I guess we'll have to see. She's got Dream Diary, Knife, and Magnifying Glass in her hands, one of each. Mostly just for a couple static boosts, and the Dream Diary getting solved early is super useful. 2 Dream Serums for kind of obvious reasons. That's our main draw engine, our main keeping cards in hand engine of just being able to do stuff. A Grizzly Totem for the incidental icon once in a while. 2 Lab Assistants for some card draw and hand size increase. I did put in 2 Medical Students. I think I dropped like... these guys were trying to do Innsmouth, and I think I dropped... What's that guy's name? Malison for the Medical Students. I knew that the partners had that damage holdover, and I thought maybe being able to heal them might be useful. 2 Crack the Cases. I used to have 1 Crack the Case and 1 Burning the Midnight Oil, but with the Dream Serums that seems kind of silly. Her signature, 2 Practice Makes Perfect, 2 Shortcut. Kind of just normal good events. 2 Deductions, 2 Eurekas, 2 Overpowers, 2 Perceptions, 2 Promise of Power, 2 Unexpected Courage, 2 Vicious Blow. I think that's kind of a normal distribution of practiced cards and skills in general for her. I did consider messing around with the 2 Unexpected Courages, but I didn't get around to it again. And she's got Whispers from the Deep and A Day of Reckoning, which is a weird one and kind of silly. I don't know how I feel about that weakness, but it's what you got. I do need to go grab my curse tokens at some point. I don't remember where I put them, so I'll have to stand up and go grab those. 3 a.m. at work tomorrow. I hope it's going to be available as a video after. Yep, it'll be available as a video. On my end, it's kind of funny. When I go look in like my YouTube studio or whatever, it looks really weird sometimes, and it looks like it's not available, but it will be available. So that's that. Oh, I do have my curses right here. My curses and blesses are in this bag that my cat conveniently ate the corner of. Nice of him to do that. I've got this awesome Chaos bag, which is super scary looking. Hey, yeah, I don't know what game I pilfered this from, but it's about the least threatening Chaos bag you can see in existence. So I'm pretty sure that I set this up ahead of time with the standard bag. So those are the investigators. We've assembled their decks. Choose the difficulty level. I'm going to go with standard. I wouldn't play hard on a blind play, especially, but I usually play standard. So I need to double check that this is even correct. So I've got a +1, 2 zeros, 3 -1s, 2 -2s, 2 skulls, a -3 and -4, 2 skulls, a cultist, a tablet, an auto fail. Oh, interesting. Okay, there's actually no Elder Thing token, so we'll take him out. And 1 frost token. So that's the bag we're looking at right now. Not too bad. Pretty reasonable. I won't be sitting this out on the table like I do when I play on tabletop. So I might be making some poor statistical choices just from not remembering what's in the bag. So we'll have to check that out. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold off on opening extra packs until I figure out that I need them. So I'm just going to push these off to the side. There's the assembled Chaos bag. Right there. You're now ready to begin at the prologue. Oh, fuck me, this is long. Alright, well, that's what we signed up for. And that is my Essence of the Dream. Right. Okay, I'll just put that underneath her for later. Prologue. Another H.P. Lovecraft quote. I am forced into speech because men of science have refused to follow my advice without knowing why. It is altogether against my will that I tell my reasons for opposing this contemplated invasion of the Antarctic, with its vast fossil hunt and its wholesale boring and melting of the ancient ice cap. And I am more reluctant because my warning may be in vain. Doubt of the real facts, as I must reveal them, is inevitable. Yet if I suppressed what will seem extravagant and incredible, there will be nothing left. H.P. Lovecraft at the Mountains of Madness. Prologue 1. You understand now, yes? Why this expedition must be stopped? Professor William Dyer sits across from you at his office desk. A wealth of academic papers and scientific journals lies sprawled between you, including Dyer's own lengthy account of his journey to the Antarctic. Up until the publication of this revised report, the alleged truth, the university's last expedition to Antarctica yielded very little in the way of scientific discoveries. At Dyer's request, you'd read through this new report of what really happened beyond those mountains of madness, as he had dubbed them. You scarcely would have believed any of it were it not for the bevy of photographs and drawings that came along with it. Evidence of mangled, dissected bodies, of perplexing five-pointed snow graves, of strange specimens found half buried in the ice, and finally, aerial shots of the jagged black peaks described in Dyer's tale. Dyer has called on you to help convince his colleagues to abandon their planned follow-up expedition. His student, Danforth, the only other member of the expedition to reach the alien stone city described in Dyer's reports, paces back and forth by the entrance to Dyer's office, muttering nonsensically to himself while you consider their strange tale. You're still unsure what to make of all this. On one hand, Dyer's concern seems genuine, and his account is filled with such detail and specificity that you find it difficult to doubt its authenticity. And yet, there's no way it could all be true. An ancient city in the ice built by primordial beings? So-called elder things? How could such things be real? Danforth mumbles something about a nameless black pit as you place Dyer's report back on his desk. The professor gazes at you with sleepless, bloodshot eyes. Well, Dyer asks, will you help us stop this madness? Will you make them see reason? The lead investigator must decide. Choose one. I believe you, but if what you say is true, should we not investigate these findings further? That sends you to Prologue 2. Or, I'm sorry, but this seems too wild to be true. Skip to Prologue 3. Well, Amanda Sharp's a student. Stella Clark's a letter carrier. I'm trying to think of thematically. Hey, Davey. Davey? Dovey. Thank you. Yeah, no, I got the my work phone set up finally. So I was really happy with that. I don't know. I'm not sure what these guys are going to go for. I think my lead is probably going to be Amanda, and I'm going to say that she's inquisitive enough that she's going to want to support the expedition and believe what's going on. So let's go to Prologue 2. Dyer lets out an anxious breath and relents. I suppose I might have said the same thing once, but now, after what I've seen, a shudder courses through the man's aging body. You are venturing somewhere humanity does not belong. I'm starting to believe that scholars such as ourselves can only continue to probe the depths of science for so long before we are laid low by what we find. Or by what finds us, Danforth chimes from behind. Dyer glances at his student, studying his expression, then turns his attention back to you. If you go on this journey with Dr. Kensler, the lot of you may not ever return. Will you not reconsider? You explain that while there is surely significant danger in your expedition, Dr. Amy Kensler, the scientist leading this new trek to Antarctica, has taken precautions to ensure it does not meet the same end as Dyer's. More importantly, it is the only way to understand the threats they encountered, and the only way to prepare if such threats are unearthed by other, less cautious scientists. Yes, I confess that I had the same worry, he replies. We are unlikely to convince the greater scientific community, I am afraid. Perhaps it would be better to return and learn more about what we saw. Danforth nods. I agree. How do we know what we saw is anything more than the overactive imaginings of two explorers with a queer fascination for the bizarre and macabre, of Arthur Gordon Pym's ill-fated journeys? Dyer's eyes narrow at his student. The knowledge reflected in his dark eyes chills you to your core. You say such things, and yet I dare say you did not see what I saw. The student scoffs. You are not the one who glimpsed that mirage at the edge of the mountainside. I am not referring to the mirage, Danforth. I'm referring to what I saw in you, Dyer retorts. The things you said on that airplane, the look on your face, I'll never forget. Silence pervades the room as Danforth returns to his corner to languish in his own doubt. Dyer pleads with you. Whatever the case may be, is there nothing I can say to deter you? You ponder for a brief moment, then shake your head. There's too much at stake, especially if Dyer's account turns out to be the truth. All right then, Dyer concludes with a sigh. Since you lot have no clue what you're getting into, I suppose we have no choice but to come too. You can tell Dr. Kensler that she wins. We'll be ready to leave within the week. You shake hands and make for the door. I hope for all our sakes that Danforth is right, he adds before you are out of earshot. In your campaign log, record the investigators convinced Dyer to allow the expedition. Stella delivering mail to the Antarctic. That's some job dedication. You're goddamn right. I'm going to open up Notepad because I really don't want to mark all over my campaign guide. So, the investigators, and I'm just going to record stuff here. Convinced Dyer to allow the expedition. Cool. Add a cultist token to the chaos bag for the remainder of the campaign. All right, so we're already off to a good start on that front. Hello, hello. Back in the scary flowery bag. Skip to Prologue 4. Man, there's a lot of reading this. Holy shit! I'm gonna get a drink of water. Oh, I don't even have my camera on. What am I doing? Is it not gonna come on? Yeah, there we go. Hey, how's it going? It's me, Pax. Or Brad, I guess. But my monitor's over there because I really did not plan this out. So, hi, it's me. I didn't even notice that wasn't on. Alright. Prologue 4. You peer up at the overcast sky, hoping it does not forebode things to come. Only a sliver of sunlight peeks through the clouds. You shudder and pull your coat closed over your shoulders, then continue onward to the edge of the Boston Harbor dock. Gather each of the cards from the expedition team encounter set. As you read the rest of this prologue, and each member of the expedition team is introduced, find the story asset from that encounter set that matches their name and acquaint yourself with their card. Oh, that's really cool. What the fuck? Alright, well, I guess we're opening up the next one to try and find the expedition team. Man, that is a really interesting way to be like, yeah, this is how you meet these people. That's cool. Holy shit. So, this is the team. There's a fuckload of weaknesses. Oh, right, that's the Tech Elite League. And then there's... Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. A bunch of other stuff, too. Right, there's the Tech Elite League weaknesses, right? I need to put them off to the side on their own. Oh, no, that means I need to get spare sleeves for my decks. Shit. I don't know where my black and red sleeves are. Oh, man. Having to step away, that's going to be a bummer. Alright, let's shove these off somewhere that I don't care too much about where they're going to be. That's right underneath my camera. Oh, clever. Okay. The expedition team encounter set is indicated by the following icon. It's this kind of swirly circle. I assume it's 9 points because there's 9 guys, or 9 people in your expedition. I don't know if you can really see that very well. Oh, this is really hard to be certain I'm doing it. Yeah, right there. Anyways. I swear I spend more on sleeves than I do on cards. You know what? That's why I sleeve most of my campaigns with penny sleeves. I only sleeve my player decks with proper sleeves because I just... I mean, this is like this box was like $89 Canadian, right? At a local game store. So I don't mind spending. They call them penny sleeves. I think they're 2 cents a sleeve now, but I don't mind spending pennies on my sleeves for my encounter sets. They shuffle like a little hokey, but they're not that bad. Standing in front of the plankway leading up to the deck of the Theodosia is Dr. Amy Kensler, a professor of biology at Miskatonic University. Where is she? There she is. The no-nonsense scientist has been a fixture of the university sciences department for over a decade. Without so much as peering up from her clipboard, she crosses off your name as you approach. Good of you to make it on time. Mr. Ellsworth here will take your luggage aboard. Oh, I will I? The man standing next to her replies with a chuckle. He offers you his hand in introduction and you shake it. Roald Ellsworth, at your service. So let's take a look at Dr. Amy Kensler. She is a 2/4 health. They have no cost because they just started in play. They have a partner, uses 3 secrets. Spend one secret and exhaust Dr. Amy Kensler. Investigate. Investigate with a base intellect skill of 5. If you succeed, look at the top card of any investigator's deck or the encounter deck. You may discard that card. Wow, she's pretty good. Okay, so they're all going to be really good, right? That's the whole point. The whole point is for them to be good. It's got to be. Okay. And Roald Ellsworth just introduced himself. By way of introduction, Dr. Kensler explains, Mr. Ellsworth has been on over a dozen expeditions and comes highly recommended. I'm sure his expertise will be invaluable in the weeks to come. Roald Ellsworth, the intrepid explorer. He's a 4/2. Partner uses 5 supplies. Supplies instead of secrets. Interesting. During an investigator's turn, exhaust Roald Ellsworth and spend 1 supply. Choose a treachery attached to any location. Treat that treachery's text box as if it were blank until the end of the turn. I've been all over the world. Please, just trust me. Oh, and Dr. Amy Kensler. All of this is so fascinating. Do you not agree? She's a professor of biology. All right. Where did I leave off again? Ellsworth rolls his eyes. His expertise, yes, and his willingness to be used as manual labor, he adds with a chuckle as he hefts your luggage and takes it up the plankway. Come on, Ellsworth, shouts another voice from inside the ship. A gruff-looking man with a thick brown beard emerges, motioning for Ellsworth to hurry. We got a ton of work to get done before we embark. A little busy, Cookie, Ellsworth shouts back in reply. Then he turns back to you and remarks over his shoulder. Do not mind him. Cookie's a bit of an intense fellow, but he is all right. The name's Fredericks, the gruff man barks back. James Fredericks. James Cookie Fredericks, a dubious choice. Ally veteran wayfarer, Partner uses 3 ammo. Spend an ammo and exhaust James Cookie Fredericks. Fight. Fight with a base combat skill of 5. If you succeed and the attacked enemy is non-elite, it cannot attack for the remainder of the round. No, I ain't leaving my damn gun back at camp. A 5/1. Wow, that's a lot. I swear, sometimes I think I'm the only one here who's ready for this damn trip, he mutters angrily. And didn't anyone ever tell you it's bad luck to name a ship after someone who died at sea? Theodosia. Yeah, well, okay. Another voice calls down from the deck of the ship. Cookie, if you could be so kind as to lower your voice, some of us are trying to work up here. The man responds with a grunt and ducks back inside the ship, rolling his eyes. You crane your neck upward and see a young woman leaning over the railing of the ship's deck. Her long, brown hair tied in a thick ponytail that dangles around her neck. Hey, you made it, she calls out to you. Dr. Kensler was pretty excited that you're coming along. Looking forward to working with you. Without looking up from her clipboard, Dr. Kensler mumbles. Mrs. Takada Hiroko is our airplane mechanic. As with the previous expedition, we'll be constructing our planes on site. No need to worry, she may be one of the youngest in her field, but she knows what she's doing. Takada Hiroko. Partner uses 9 resources. Exhaust her, move up to 3 resources from her to your resource pool. Nobody knows these machines better than I do. She's a 3/3. More of the crew begin to arrive one by one. The first is a man in his 30s with a wispy blonde beard and bright green eyes, Mr. Avery Claypool. Dr. Kensler introduces you to the man, and the two of you shake hands. Mr. Claypool is an associate of Mr. Ellsworth's. He'll be serving as our guide in the Antarctic. Avery Claypool, the Antarctic guide. Partner uses 5 supplies. When an investigator at your location reveals a frost token during a skill test, exhaust him and spend a supply, cancel that token, and reveal a new one. Does not return it to the bag. That's nice. 3/3. Weather is turning foul again. I would tell you to turn back, but I gather you would refuse, right? So whose buddy is he? Mr. Ellsworth's buddy, the intrepid explorer. So those guys are friends. They're buddies. All right. Weather permitting, Claypool jokes. Honestly, we'll be lucky if we can even get off the ice shelf. I am confident with your skills we will make it as far as Dyer and Lake did. Holy shit. I hope you like reading, because there's a lot of reading. It's good. I like this. It's cool characterization. I assume we're going to be spending a lot of time with these guys. They're going to be with us on a bunch of missions. So it'll be cool to have them. That is what I'm afraid of, Claypool mutters, walking briskly past Kensler and up the plankway. On his way up, he passes Ellsworth, and the two freeze, locking eyes. You could swear that the temperature lowers several degrees as the two brush by one another without a single word. They're usually on better terms, Dr. Kensler says under her breath, but recently fell into some issue with one another. They better learn to live with their differences. They will be unable to avoid one another for quite some time after all. You watch as Claypool's gaze wanders back to Ellsworth for just a fraction of a second before he turns away angrily and enters the ship. A lover's quarrel, maybe? The next to arrive is a woman with warm brown skin and weary eyes. Along with her luggage, she carries a rather large, bright red medical kit emblazoned with a white cross. She extends her hand, and you cannot help but notice the nervous tremble in Dr. Kensler's hand as she shakes it. Thank you for joining us on this voyage, Mala. Oh, Amy, someone has to keep you alive, she replies. There's a moment of awkward silence as Dr. Kensler glances up at the woman, then down at her feet, her cheeks tinged red. Right, well then, she remarks, and continues up the walkway. Dr. Kensler clears her throat once she's out of earshot. Dr. Mala Sinha is our physician, she explains. It took some convincing to get her to join us, so try not to abuse her expertise with inconsequential problems. Frostbite will be a very real concern, as will gangrene and hypothermia. Try to stay on her good side. You're unsure if Dr. Kensler was joking. Dr. Mala Sinha, the daring physician. Partner uses 3 supplies. Spend 1 supply and exhaust Dr. Mala Sinha. Heal 2 damage from an investigator or another ally asset at your location. So she can't heal herself. Want to survive this trip? Good. Then don't get on my bad side. I'll put her right under Dr. Kensler. They seem like they're buddies. A man's voice pierces the sudden silence along with the clamor of a dog barking. On you! Damn it, on you! Don't run off like that, he shouts. That will be Mr. Ashevak, Dr. Kensler says, scratching off another name from her list. Moments later, you watch as a large gray furred dog bounds towards you, its tongue hanging out of its mouth in excitement. Who doesn't love a dog? Come on, this is awesome. You lean over and pet the dog, running your hand along her thick, long fur. The man finally catches up to the dog, huffing with effort. On you. Come on, I thought I trained you better than this, he says, catching his breath. Alaya Ashevak is our dog handler, Dr. Kensler interjects. He is in charge of taking care of the 44 sledge dogs we are bringing along with us, not to mention their feeding and training. On you here makes 45, he corrects her before turning to shake your hand. Also, we'll be holed up in the ship for a while, so let's drop the formalities. Just Alaya is fine. Alaya Ashevak, the dog handler. Ally, Wayfarer. Partner, uses 3 secrets. Spend 1 secret and exhaust Alaya Ashevak. Evade. Attempt to evade an enemy with a base agility skill of 5. If you succeed, you may move to a connecting location. 3-3. You've got the scent, haven't you, girl? Oh my god. Can you see that? I'm not gonna be able to get that to focus, am I? It's really nice. It's a really good like husky, I think. I feel like it's a husky. I don't know. I'm a bit of a dog person, but I'm not that much of a dog person. I love dogs, but I've never had one until I was an adult. As the man and his enormous dog board the ship, you ask Dr. Kensler if she received the letter you sent regarding Professor Dyer's concerns. I'm well aware of his report, Dr. Kensler replies, but as I've told him time and time again, I have no intention of ceasing or postponing this expedition. Just then, footsteps approach behind you, interrupting your conversation. Speak of the devil, Dr. Kensler mutters, looking up from her clipboard. You turn to find none other than Professor William Dyer and his student Danforth, each toting several bags of luggage. Glad you finally decided to join us, William. Professor William Dyer, Professor of Geology. Partner uses 3 secrets, spend 1 secret and exhaust him. To heal 2 horror from an investigator or another ally asset at your location. Okay, so he's a 1-5. Doubt of the real facts, as I must reveal them, is inevitable. Yeah, we already read that. And Danforth, the brilliant student. Oh man, he looks worried. Partner uses 5 secrets. After an investigator at your location resolves a Tekelili weakness, exhaust Danforth and spend a secret. That investigator draws 2 cards. Danforth was a great reader of bizarre materials. H.P. Lovecraft at the Mountains of Madness, a 2-4. Card draw effects are nice. So I think that's everybody. We've met them all now. So that's where we're at with that. Let's continue on with the story. Amy, he acknowledges, I'm not here because I believe in your mission statement. I am here to make sure you and your companions do not get themselves killed. You have no idea what you're walking into. Then you will have ample enough opportunity to educate us along the way. She turns to address young Danforth, who's staring up at the tanker ship with a pained expression. Danforth, I hope you understand that you are under no obligation to come along on this expedition. After everything you went through... She trails off, her eyebrows raised in worry, atypical of her usual cold demeanor. I appreciate your concern, Dr. Kensler, but I'm looking forward to the opportunity to return to Antarctica. Need to be there again. She follows his gaze to the Theodosia, which bobs steadily up and down on the choppy Atlantic waters. Very well. We're still working to get all of our equipment aboard. Mr. Ellsworth can help you find your rooms. You nod and begin boarding, along with the remaining crew and the rest of the expedition team. Mostly students of the university, along with several unaffiliated explorers, and several researchers in a variety of fields. Once more you spy the scant sliver of sunlight above before it is smothered by gray clouds. These 9 characters will be your partners throughout the campaign. Their various talents will be crucial in the scenarios to come. However, if you wish for this expedition to be successful, it is imperative that you keep them healthy and sane. In the expedition team section of the campaign log, you can view the status of each member of the expedition team. As they're injured or begin to question their sanity, update the campaign log accordingly. You will be instructed when to do so. As each team member is killed or driven insane, cross them off this list one by one. When you are ready to begin the campaign, proceed to Scenario 1, Ice and Death. Well, I think I'm going to cut this video here and put the scenario in as a separate video. So it's for anyone watching live, it's probably going to look like I just stopped live streaming for a minute. But I'll be back. I might go find those sleeves really quickly, but I'll be back in a minute. And we can get right into the scenario, which is super exciting. There's so much more words. Look at this shit. Oh my god. Alright, there's another 2 pages of words, but we'll read that when I'm right back, and I will see you in a moment. Ice and Death sounds promising. That's a very good comment to end this video on. Thank you very much for that, Moo Juice. Alright, I'll see you in a couple minutes.